Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're exploring a deeply important yet really gentle topic that touches the lives of so many of us as homeowners. As we step into new, exciting chapters in our lives, our relationship with our living spaces naturally evolves. So we're going to look at a question I hear all the time. How do you know if it's actually time to downsize? Let's just dive right in and unpack what that really means. A lot of folks assume that moving begins with this loud, dramatic realization, or maybe some sudden event. But how do you really know when it's time to let go of the space you have for the life you want? Often, the journey of downsizing doesn't begin with a sudden, definitive choice. Instead, it starts quietly. It's more of a subtle feeling that just kind of creeps up on you. Exactly as that says, downsizing usually doesn't start with a big decision. It starts quietly. You might just wake up one day and feel like something isn't fitting the way it used to. And what's fascinating about this feeling is that it can be incredibly hard to put into words. People often think downsizing is literally just about physical square footage, right? But honestly, more often than not, it's really about life changes. Section 1. When home feels different. Shifting needs in familiar spaces. Let's think about your relationship with your own home for a second. On one side, we have what the home used to be, active, full of people, constantly buzzing with daily family life. But on the flip side, we have what it feels like right now. For many of us, spaces that were once bursting with energy might now feel, incredibly still. You might start noticing that certain areas of the house feel more like a chore, spaces you just have to constantly clean, heat, and maintain rather than actually enjoy. The house itself? It hasn't changed a bit, but your relationship to it absolutely has. Take the untouched guest room, for example. It's such a relatable scenario, isn't it? For so many homeowners, the very first tangible sign isn't dramatic at all. It's simply walking past a room and realizing nobody goes in there anymore. Well, unless it's to occasionally store that treadmill you absolutely swore you'd use. Maybe that guest room has sat entirely untouched for months on end. It's just a quiet, everyday reminder of how our needs are evolving. The crucial takeaway here is that while the house stays exactly the same, our lives are constantly in motion. There are a few really common life shifts that tend to bring up this feeling. Things like retirement, or maybe the kids moving out to start their own lives. Or honestly, simply a shift in your day-to-day routine. Any one of these events can be a catalyst, making us realize that the home that once fit perfectly, just doesn't fit this next chapter in the exact same way. I actually want to pause right here for a second and have you ask yourself, is this home still supporting the life I want now? Just take a moment to reflect on that. And hey, there is absolutely zero pressure to have an immediate answer. It's totally normal to feel deep comfort in the familiarity of your home while also holding this quiet awareness that, things have changed. Just sitting with these questions is a powerful step in reflecting on your space. Section 2. Looking ahead. Gaining freedom and simplicity. Okay, it is absolutely crucial that we reframe this word downsizing. So often we look at it through this lens of loss, like we're giving up space, losing rooms, or leaving our history behind. But in reality, downsizing is absolutely not giving something up. It's about gaining ease, flexibility, and a lifestyle that just feels, lighter. It's actually a really exciting opportunity. Just imagine what your daily life could look like in 5 or 10 years if managing your home was just easier. Ultimately, it all boils down to craving less stress and more simplicity. And you know what? That newfound simplicity takes a completely different shape for everyone. It might mean, number 1, moving to a physically smaller home. Or number 2, maybe it's just finding a different layout, like a single-story place where you never have to worry about climbing stairs again. Or number 3, it could mean moving to a totally new location to be closer to your grandkids or better amenities. The how looks different for everyone, but the goal, it's always about finding that lighter, easier lifestyle. Section 3. The emotional journey. Honoring your connection to the home. There's a saying, a home isn't just a property, it's where life happened. And while that is so incredibly important to acknowledge, your memories, the big milestones, your daily routines, they are all deeply rooted in those physical walls. So feeling a bit of hesitation or having mixed emotions about leaving, that is completely 100% normal. You aren't just making a practical, logistical real estate decision here. You're navigating something deeply personal. We really have to honor the emotional weight of a transition like this. And because of that deep emotional connection, I want you to remember this. There's no need to rush or have everything figured out right this second. Seriously,
You are navigating this complex blend of practical logistics and heavy emotions, and it is totally okay if that just takes time. Give yourself the grace to explore these feelings, completely pressure-free.
Section 4. There is no perfect time. Choosing your own path forward. One of the absolute biggest misconceptions about downsizing is the idea that there's this one perfect, magical moment to make a move. In reality, it is completely different for everyone. We generally see people take one of two paths. On one side, you have moving proactively. This is when you choose to move while feeling totally in control of your timeline and your options. On the other side, you have moving reactively, which is waiting until a health event or a sudden life change basically makes a move necessary. Now, neither approach is inherently wrong. The trick is simply keeping yourself aware and understanding your options, so when the time does come, you're ready to make the best choice for you. So let's just leave the anxiety of constantly asking, is it time yet, at the door. Instead, I want to leave you with this final, thought-provoking question. What would life feel like if I made a change? Just close your eyes and focus on that feeling of a lighter, simpler new chapter. Taking a quiet moment to safely explore that thought can honestly bring you so much more clarity than trying to force a concrete decision today. If you're even a little curious about what that lighter chapter might look like for you, a really simple, gentle first step is to just start a conversation. You can explore the possibilities with Michelle Williams Holmes. I promise there is absolutely zero pressure and no rush timelines here. Just a warm, open invitation to explore your options and gain a little bit of insight whenever you feel ready. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope it brings you a sense of peace, empowerment, and clarity as you look toward your beautiful future.